of rain today, and it's a bright blue sky day. So they still haven't figured out how to predict the weather. I'm not complaining. Well, I am complaining because we need the rain. But okay. Let's see. Let's get started. Mike, if you'll start us off with the mandala, please.
Sashi Koki Jukshin Metakchon Rira Blingshin Yende Genpali Sange Shindu Mikte Uwagi Jokun Namdakshin Drupashak Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami.
I go for refuge in time and light to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Is that twice or three times? I lost count. Hey, it's not a good sign when your teacher loses count from taking refuge. I guess I better wake up. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do first? Let's do our rejoicing. Then we'll do the quiz. Okay. Let's see who I've got a lot of Natalias. Well, let's start. On my left, I've got Natalia, and she's got behind her looks like a green screen. Yeah, that Natalia. Okay. What do you have to rejoice about today?
Today. So I just had I played a game that is based on the ancient knowledge of the wisdom, a diamond wisdom, and I got few realizations. So I'm on the right path. So I'm happy, rejoicing in that I'm studying the wisdom.
Good, good. I have a game. Maybe we'll play one of these days. I don't know how many of you know the game Jeopardy. It's a game show, and I made that into a Dharma Jeopardy game. So it's really fun to play. We'll have to. I'm going to write that note down. Dharma Jeopardy. I think. Gosh, I have to see if I can find it. Yeah, maybe we'll see how much class is next time. Maybe we'll do it then. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you feel you're on the right path and you got indication of that. It's always nice to get a sign. Katrina, What do you have to rejoice about? You have to unmute your mic. There you go.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad that we have today class, and I hear Konya O'Brien and JP. They talk about.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I need more
Sorry.
volume.
Can
Так,
you
погромче
write
говори.
in the chat? I have
Oh,
problem.
maybe without mic, only with.
I can hear now. No, I can't hear.
Yeah, there is a problem with her mic, but she's saying that she's happy to be studying the wisdom,
Okay.
and she just went to listen to a seminar with Connie O'Brien, probably about the Yoga Pradipika, and she was inspired.
Good, good. Yes, Connie's a great teacher, and she's a great cook. Okay, who's next? Daria.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Venerable Sumati. I'm rejoiced. I will start to do meditation every day, but at my work. Early morning, I came to my work, and I do 5 minutes. Like you say, 5 minutes do first, and I sit, listen my prayers, hear my prayers, and go to work after meditation.
Good. Well, that's great. I rejoice in your starting your meditation practice. That's wonderful. Okay, Claire, you're up next.
Oh, thank you, Venerable Sumati. And I would like to rejoice that we have these studies and teachers. And I had such a situation today when some boss was like not glad about job that I have done. And I was impatient inside my heart and etc. But I tried to explain what I did in quite logical way, but it of course it was like quite loud. And then I remembered your story. You told that you just heard when boss was screaming, was about to fire and not to reply. So I was thinking that it doesn't relate to the situation, so I should just pass on. And later when I came home, my concierge, she told me that she has some woman who is criticizing her, and I had a chance to help her to not be stressful. I told her, like, you need not to react to criticism, you should be patient inside of you, you should be in harmony inside of you. That is very important. And I rejoice that I have such opportunity to help someone to manage the same situation that I faced today earlier, and I dedicated to further patience in this and in similar and even stronger situations.
Very good. Well, I'm glad that that came in. That's what we're looking for. When you have a situation in your life, you can rely on your Dharma teaching to help you not make karma that you don't want. So that's great. Very good. Okay, Olga.
Hello, I rejoice that I have been able to keep my practice these days. Like I wake up, meditate, and I rejoiced on that, and I dedicate that.
Good. Well, good. I'm glad you're getting into that habit. I'm still struggling with my meditation habit, but I'm getting there. Okay. Cornelia, what do you have to, besides your lovely husband? What do you
So
have to
thank you,
rejoice in?
Venerable Sumati. Today I had the opportunity to give a small gift to an employee in the canteen at my work, and in doing so I planted the seeds of surprise.
Wow. What was the gift, if I may ask?
Um, little chocolate.
Oh, well, no, there's no such thing as little chocolate. Chocolate's big.
Maltesers. I don't know if you know this.
No,
Maltesers, little chocolate. Okay.
no. Oh, good. That's basically making sure you get chocolate in the future. That's a good thing. Very good thing. Okay. Our translator, Natalia. Do you have something to rejoice in?
You're on the main channel.
Wait, ah,
Yeah.
I'm on the bench. Okay, you can hear me. Well, today I'm rejoicing on the fact that I'm here today serving and helping all the students and you with the translation. So I think today I will read.
Okay. I lost your voice there for a minute. Okay. Well, thank you so much for putting up with me and my rapid speaking. I'm in awe of all the translators. Okay. Mike, you're up.
Hey, good morning. So yesterday I was parked on the street next to a tree, and I backed out, and my side view mirror just crunched into the tree, and I felt everything inside of me start to rage. And then and then I just remembered, the Dharma, the worldview, and how having a rage response or an anger response to that is only going to further make situations like this show up in my life. So I kind of tried to mediate that as much as I could in my body and um, stay out of the cursing and why is this happening to me, and is this just how my day is now? I guess I'm having a bad day now. So I kind of pushed all that to the side and just realized there's nothing that I could do about it, and I can't take it back, and I can't. Being angry at the situation isn't going to fix it. So the only thing I could do is respond properly. So planting seeds for patience in my future.
That's excellent. The only thing, you can't do anything about it. Getting mad is not going to make the mirror come back. My only question is, how did you park in without hitting your mirror if you backed out?
So it's just like right up against the side, like the sidewalk ends here and the tree starts here. So I was careful when I backed out or when I pulled in, but not when I backed out. And then I wound up getting out of the car and I picked up the two pieces of the side view mirror and I was able to like put them back on the car. So the only thing that really happened was a little piece of plastic got chipped off, but the rest of it is fine. So it really wasn't that big of a deal anyway.
Wow. Interesting. Well, good for you. That's anger coming up like that. But I think what impresses me the most is when you said the anger is not going to take care of the problem. It's not going to, well, let's look at it this way. Because you didn't get angry and get all frustrated, you were able to put the mirror back on the car. So, very good. Okay. Leela, is that right?
Layla.
Layla, I'm sorry. Layla like the rock. Okay, I'll remember. Layla. Okay.
Good morning. Yesterday I had I really needed to rest and I didn't do much. And today I rejoice in being able to, in the passions that I have that keep me going, and that I was able to, um, not be too hard on myself yesterday. And yeah, that it's tricky, right? That balance of when to know to be disciplined and to push, and then but also when to know when to rest and to do it from a place that's not, not judgment, not so I'm rejoicing in the ability to see and take the rest when I need it, and the patience to see it, the wisdom to see it, and then the rejoicing in the joy that comes when I'm able to, move and have all these passions that keep me going.
Yeah, it's important. I think it's easy when you, especially if you have Dharma friends and you see them, maybe you feel they're doing better, if there's such a term in the Dharma. It's important to be able to put in perspective it's your practice at your pace, and to know when to relax. Sometimes you think you have to be doing Dharma the 24/7 the rest of your life, which we practice the Dharma that way. But there's nothing wrong with seeing an occasional movie. There's nothing wrong with skipping a day of meditation or yoga. I don't recommend it, but you're not going to be doomed to hell because you skipped a day of yoga or meditation. Now, if you skip a week, yeah, maybe that's a little long. But I rejoice in you having the ability to make that decision and to not beat yourself up about it. I think that's a maturity that a lot of students don't have. So congratulations. Okay. Anna.
Yes, hello everyone. About my rejoicing today. I was very productive today. I did a lot of my job tasks and visited a lot of job meetings also. And I found time for volunteering. So I'm rejoicing my day is good today. Thank you.
Good, good. It's nice to have a full day and be able to practice. Okay, I have Marcella. You're just listening? I guess that means she won't rejoice. Okay. Surin, you're a new student. We do rejoicing practice before we start class. Do you have something you can rejoice in? Oops. There he is. On your microphone. There. I can't hear you. No, I still can't. Microphone karma. Well, it's nice to know other people have trouble with their microphone. Huh. Well, I guess I'm not supposed to hear you today. Okay, we'll go on to someone else. Maria?
Hi, today I want to rejoice in the fact that I'm alive.
Oh,
I've been
well,
having a bad day yesterday, so that's the most important part that requires rejoicing at this time. So I'm happy I'm still alive in this class and keep going. Thank you.
wow. That's well, I'm glad you're alive too. That's a little scary. Well, okay. No, I don't really know what to say. I've never had someone rejoice that they're still alive. We're glad you're still alive too. So, okay. I think I covered everybody. So, how about my rejoicing? Well, let me see where to start. Let's see what's happened between. Oh, so I got my manuscript for my book back, and I've been working through it, making the corrections necessary. And Microsoft Word on my computer started to get very unstable. The screen was flickering, and I couldn't do the editing I needed to do. And I was very worried that it was the file I was working with. I spent 8 hours going through it, doing corrections. I didn't want us to go back and have to do that again. So I I was worried. But instead of getting angry, instead of getting frustrated, instead of blaming the software, I Googled what do you do with an unstable Microsoft Word. And they had all these fancy things to do with the registry file and things like that. And I finally decided I would just turn off the program, turn off my computer, turn it back on, turn the program back on, and see if that fixed the problem. Very simple thing to do. Didn't have to get into any of the software. And sure enough, it's stable again. So my rejoicing there is to not get upset, to know what I could do within my knowledge of the software and do it instead of trying to get fancy and get into the actual software. So to not get mad, to know the limits of what I know with the software, that's I rejoice in that. I think that's, for me, that's very important because as I've said more than once already in this course, movement of the mind includes getting angry at yourself mentally. And that's what I'm struggling with Parkinson's and all of that. I'm struggling with that. We were at a health fair yesterday at our retirement community. And I had a chance to see a lot of people. It was interesting. Well, I just can describe it as interesting. Interacting with people. Many of those people hadn't seen me in a long time and were glad to see me. It's always, for me, it's always weird to have people come up and say they're glad to see me. I mean, I'm glad to see them, but well, anyway. So it was a good day. And I'm really happy I can continue to put what I'm teaching into my practice as well. Now, if I could just get rid of getting angry at myself, that would be huge. Okay, now today we're going to do two courses, two classes, class 3 and class 4. They were both very short, and I thought we'd add them together because they fit together pretty nicely. But before that, I promised you we'd have a short quiz. And not that I don't want to disappoint any of my students. So here's the quiz. I need someone to name me in order the 6 preliminaries. Okay, Olga, you sound like you're ready to go.
Yeah, the 6 preliminaries. We start with clean and I don't know if I pronounced this correct, but tidy space where you could set an altar with representation of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. Then set up offerings that have been obtained through ethical way. The third one is to go for refuge and the wish for enlightenment. Um, then gather good energy and purify obstacles using the 7 ingredients, and then ask for blessings to the holy beings.
Very good. Very good. Clean and tidy up the area. The idea is not that you're a slob, but you just look and make sure everything's nice and clean and set up the altar. Your altar's set up. You just have to set up the bowls. And again, you want to have, what 3 things do you want to have on the altar? There are three important objects you should have on your altar.
Representation of body, speech, and mind.
Right. But what could that be?
For
So-
body, it's stupa.
Body would be an image. Stupa would be
Mind.
mind, right?
And-
And speech would be scripture. So I'll try and remember. I think I didn't send you some material yesterday. I will send you a small printed copy of The Source of All My Good, one of my favorite teachings. And you can fold that up nicely and place it on your altar, and that could be your scripture if you don't have anything that you can put on there now. So I will send you that. Source. I will send you that. Okay, stupa. That's, you can get a picture of a stupa, that would work. And of course, obviously a picture of Lord Buddha or Jason Kapa. Okay, very good, Olga. That's great. Okay. What else did I want to ask as a question? Oh. Is it okay to have an empty water bowl sitting upright on your altar? No. Okay, good. Can anybody give me the 7 offering bowls, what they represent? No? Well, that's, well, go ahead.
I'll
Go
give
ahead,
it a try.
Claire.
Oh. Water to welcome, and
Yes,
to drink, and then water to clean.
yes.
And then flowers,
Mhm.
and then incense, and leaves for lamp, for light, and snacks.
Oh, you skip perfume.
Oh, incense? Oh, perfume.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. There's water to drink, flowers, water to wash your feet, fresh flowers, incense, lamp, representing the illumination of wisdom, perfume, and then food. And there's an 8th one. What's the 8th one? You don't have a water bowl for that.
Music.
Right. And
Bell, or,
I
yeah.
found a little bell, and I put that little bell in a bowl with rice in it. That's my music one. Very good. Okay. What else? Oh, do you leave your water bowls overnight?
No.
No. You take them down and you stack them as I showed you. Good. The ideal with the water, how can I describe this? I don't know if you know what a meniscus is with water. When you pour it up to the very lip and it doesn't spill over, there's this kind of curve to the surface of the water. You want the water to be just the width, about 1/8 of an inch, or let's say, what is 1/8 of an inch? 3 millimeters from the top of the bowl. So it's as full as it can get comfortably. A partially filled bowl is considered to not be correct. It should be, when you're making an offering, it should be complete and full. Okay. Well, good. You guys did well on our quiz. I'm gonna have to get more difficult. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the 6 conditions of the environment. Jason Kapa wrote a commentary on the 6 preliminaries and the 7 ingredients. Let's go. One more question. What are the 7 ingredients? The 7. Remember we talked about the 7 ingredients?
Yeah.
Anybody
You ask
remember?
your lama to come
Yes.
and you make an offering, then you do the 4 powers, and then you rejoice. And you ask them to teach you and to stay with you. And after you practice, you do the dedication.
Very good. So I really encourage you to have that short form I gave you memorized. With my body, speech, and mind, humbly I prostrate. I make offerings both sad and imagined. I confess my wrong deeds from all time and rejoice in the virtues of all. Please stay until samsara ceases and turn the wheel of Dharma for us. I dedicate all virtues to the great enlightenment. Let's see, I go right from there into the mandala. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers, the great mountain foreland, sun and moon seen as a Buddha land and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such pure lands. The objects of greed, confusion, hatred, friend, stranger, and foe, our wealth and bodies gladly offered. Please accept this and bless us to be free from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryataya Me. No, that's just, once I start the 7 preliminaries, that just rolls right off my tongue. I'm sorry, I sometimes get into another space. Okay, so what else did I want to say? Okay, 6 conditions of the environment. So today's class is mainly from the Sutra Alamkara by Master Asanga, 350 AD, and Gom Rim, the Stages of Meditation by Master Karma Shila, and his dates around 750 AD. This is also from the Abhidharma Kosha by Master Vasubandhu, 350 AD. So, 6 conditions. 1, now this is talking mainly about doing retreat, an extended retreat. So this isn't really germane to our daily practice. Couldn't find the names on the readings.
Yes, for the books, what you just mentioned is what's being referenced in for the
Okay.
conditions of quietude. Thank you, Claire. And the dates?
Yeah, there should be in the student notes. Do you have the
I
student
have
notes?
the readings, the reading 3 conditions for developing quietude, but I don't.
Okay, well,
Mm.
after class, Layla, stick around after class and I'll make sure you get what you need.
Thank you.
Okay, so like I said, this is more about going into a retreat. Let's say you're going to go do a 3 or 4 day or 4 week retreat. You want to find a conducive place. So in our situation, a place in your house or your apartment that's comfortable physically. It's a safe place. Well, this really refers to going somewhere on retreat. So number one, conducive place, comfortably physically. That includes considerations for food and heat. If you're doing an extended retreat, it's best to have someone cook for you. Because otherwise you're worried about what you're going to make for lunch or dinner. Now, see, that's an interesting thing for me. I'm the cook in the family, and I think about preparing dinner about 5 minutes before I prepare dinner. I open the refrigerator, and what's there is what's there. I do plan meals, but I don't spend the morning before meditation going, what are we going to have for lunch? We have for lunch whatever appears to me to look good about 5 minutes before lunch. That may mean you never want to come to my house to eat. I don't know. But I don't dwell on that. It's like food. I enjoy a good meal, but I don't like paying a lot of money I don't like going to restaurants and paying a lot of money for food that I could prepare. Well, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Safe place. Your assistant, if you're going to have someone attend to you and cook for you, they should be someone that you can trust, because you're going to ask them to cook for you every day and get the food to you on time. The first Leiram, which is a tantric retreat, 4-week retreat, the first one I did at Diamond Mountain, I had my wife and another person were supposed to take care of getting me food every day, and they forgot. And so I made breakfast in the morning. That was instant oatmeal. In the States, you can get the maple sugar instant oatmeal or apple and cinnamon or whatever, and just add it to hot water, and there's your breakfast. Well, for 3 days, all I had to eat was instant oatmeal. And believe me, I got really tired of instant oatmeal. I still can't eat it. So it turned out they had lost track of who was supposed to feed me. So finally, I had to leave a note outside with someone in the road, in the middle of the road. Would someone please bring me some food? It was actually pretty funny. But oh man, that oatmeal tasted really, that makes me shudder thinking about it. So, and the important thing is your attendant should be interested in supporting how you want the retreat to go. If you're doing retreat, you're doing retreat in a cabin, you should hang sheets over the windows so you're not drawn outside. You're going to find it's hard to find a place like that. We were very lucky at Diamond Mountain. When we were there between the university courses, no one else was there. So it was easy to find a place to do retreat. But when we were at Diamond Mountain, we made sure whoever else was doing retreat got everything they wanted, because that was setting the karma for us to get everything we wanted. If you're doing a long retreat, you should be on the lookout for something we call lung, which is the psychic energy imbalance. It's hard to describe. I've never had lung that I'm aware of, but a lot of people say they've had it, and it's restlessness. It usually often manifests as inability to sleep, lightheaded, rapid heartbeat. Geshe Michael's advice: if you do not sleep for more than 2 days, you should end the retreat. So lung is counteracted by heavy foods, oily foods. When you're in retreat, you shouldn't have a lot of sweets. Be careful with caffeine. If you want to do a extended retreat, let me know. And if that's just 3 or 4 days, that's fine. Let me know, and I can go over more detail about you, what you need to be on the lookout for. Okay, so 1's conducive place. Number 2 is your attitude going into retreat. Don't take a bunch of stuff with you. Keep it simple. Your first retreat, you should just take what you're going to memorize or study. Don't take very much. I would recommend you don't take your, well, you can't take your phone with you. Don't take a computer in with you, even if that's how you're going to study. Take a book. If I was doing my first retreat, I would take something to memorize. That'd be the first thing I do. A first 3 or 4 day retreat, isolate yourself as we've discussed. Take in a piece of paper with what you're going to memorize and focus your attention on that. Number 3, be satisfied with what you get. This is important when someone else is taking care of you. It's easy to, how can I put this? If my wife, and I love her dearly, is cooking for me for my retreat, I need to be satisfied with what she cooks. And I guess, well, I'm not getting there. Being satisfied means whatever meal you get, whatever support you get, don't be critical of it. Her idea of a good meal is not necessarily my idea. But if she's cooking for me, she's doing me the great service of cooking for me instead of my having to cook. Then I shouldn't write out and say, I don't want this, I don't want that. Whatever comes in, you accept and you take joyfully. Her idea of buttered toast is not my idea of buttered toast. Bread is a vehicle for as much butter as you can put on it. Her idea is a thin film of butter that you can barely taste. But if she's sending that in, I don't sit there saying, well, this is lousy toast. I say, well, great. She served me. She gave me toast. Lucky me. That's why whenever I make a peanut butter sandwich for her, there are 2 ways you can make a peanut butter sandwich, her way and my way. And so I ask, do you want a David peanut butter sandwich or a Serrani peanut butter sandwich? And she always chooses the David peanut butter sandwich. And this is because if you're going to make a peanut butter sandwich, you should put a layer of butter, then a layer of peanut butter, then a layer of jam. Now that's a peanut butter sandwich. Just putting peanut butter on. Now I'm telling you all my secrets. Okay. That's so. Conducive place, not needing too much, be satisfied with what you get. Number 4, give up doing a lot of things. Your first retreat, 3 or 4 day retreat, don't take in 6 things to memorize. Take in what you can logically memorize. Source of all my good is something I memorize very quickly, but I'm pretty good at memorizing things. Number 5, pure morality. What you want to do is make sure before you go into retreat, don't go into retreat with problems weighing on your mind. So you want to be especially careful not to get mad at anybody, have issues weighing on your mind before you go into retreat. So even if it's just 3 or 4 days, and when I say just 3 or 4 days, I don't mean to downplay that. Retreat to me means 3 or 4 weeks. So when I say just 3 or 4 days, that's because I usually think of it as being much longer. But make sure you don't have fights with your boss or fights with your spouses or siblings or children. Make sure a week before you go into retreat that everything's nice and smooth, nothing's hanging, you don't have something hanging over your head. If you have to get something done, get it done before retreat so that you're not in your retreat and then all of a sudden remember you got to do something. And number 6, get rid of sense desires. This is a little hard to describe because people have different sense desire issues. The idea in retreat is to withdraw your awareness of the outside world. So you want to make sure that, well, for instance, writing notes. I helped with one retreat and I got dozens of notes from the person in retreat asking for this or that. And that's why be satisfied with, you're in there for 3 or 4 days. The world's not going to end. So, well, I guess it might, but if it does, not much you can do about it. Now, can you take music in to listen to? I do that. That calms me. But you have to take music that is calm and not rock and roll. That's why I like the music I collect, the soundtracks, is often takes me into very special places when I listen to it. So if all these preparations wouldn't be a bad way to live your life, being satisfied with what you get on an everyday basis, it's a great way to live. Not being carried away by sense pleasures, again, it's a great way to live. Making sure you're doing things properly and not have problems, pure morality, that's a great way to live. So those are the 6 conditions. Now, how about for us in the morning? We went over the preparing to meditate. So being satisfied with what you get, be happy that you have the time to do the meditation. If you're starting to memorize, you're at home, you're doing do your first sit, your sit in the morning, just try and memorize one stanza. Don't Don't get frustrated by not being able to memorize the entire thing. It's easy to think that you're not doing well compared to others. If you're just starting your meditation practice, don't over set goals that are unrealistic. You need to give yourself something, a challenge, but not something that you can't do and then get upset that you can't do it. So for instance, if you've got the source of all my good, there are 14 stanzas. Chances of you being able to memorize that in one sitting are remote. So don't say to yourself, you're going to do that. Say you're going to memorize one. Now, this is how I memorize things. I read through the entire item I'm going to memorize. I take the first stanza, I memorize a line, then I take the next line, I repeat the first line, then the second line, then I go backwards and repeat the second line first, then go to the first line. Then I add a line, repeat all three, go in reverse, and do that. And then put it down, do something else, and come back. The other key that I found extremely helpful is to write it down. If you're starting to memorize it, write down that first verse. The source of all my good, write that down. Is my kind Lama my Lord, write that down. You do that for each line. And then you write all 4 lines. Then you write them in reverse. That's how I memorize. I find that very. The other trick for me is to walk while I'm memorizing. Walk back and forth in the room, because that gives my mind something else to think about. I have to think about walking, and that challenges me to think about walking and what I'm memorizing. So that's my trick. Okay, so that's the class 3. Class 4.